Detective.
Ancient sands, heed my command.
You know what happens to a toad when it's struck by lightning?
And reclaim these relics of ancient bridge. Morphin time!
The same thing that happens to everything else.
If the apocalypse comes, beat me. Beat me. Beat me. Beat me.
Welcome to Real Hot Nerd Shit, a pop culture podcast where real hot nerds talk about real nerd shit. Real nerd shit. I'm your host, Ryan.
And I'm your host, Shauna.
And on this episode of Real Hot Nerd Shit, we'll be talking about Black Widow as we begin our rewatch of Phase 4.
And we're excited that to start off this Phase 4 rewatch with our special hot guest. Welcome, Z.
Hi, Diva.
Thank you.
There's a very clear note in our notes that says, Ryan, don't forget the applause machine.
Are you going to just fully put my shit on Front Street like that, Shauna? Just...
If she wasn't, I was.
Yeah, I need to. Okay, great. You're both wretched cunts. Welcome, Z. So glad you are here. She's an actual listener. Z gives me feedback.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes I give you feedback.
Sometimes. Yeah. I didn't mean that in like a Z tells me it's bad. This person listens and actually appreciates one of our 6 monthly listeners. Shout out.
Dozens of us. Dozens.
So, playing podcast, and then I'll wake up and Shauna or Ryan's voice is in my ear at like 4 a.m. So that's really intimate.
It's beautiful. Which, is, at least it's nice things. Like, we probably aren't saying anything mean. It's probably pretty affirming, I would assume. So, obviously, you and I go way back from organizing days. We did some conference work together. But one of the things that I think I was like the most surprised was I saw you presenting at some conference one time about the intersection of like pop culture and or specifically comic books and social justice. And I was like, wait a second, bitch. How have we never explored this intersection of our interests? So my question, if a nerd is someone who is weirdly knowledgeable and passionate about something that people sometimes might think is uncool, but who gives a fuck? What are you a nerd about?
Oof. The list could go on. The limit does not exist. And part of that I'd like to think is just my genuine interest in things, but part of it I also think is autism, which we appreciate. Thank you. Autism speaks, and I am speaking.
Thanks, acetaminophen.
Thank you, acetaminophen. Had a lot of headaches as a kid. There are so many different things. Like, I thought back to that Galaxy Con that you just mentioned, and that was the only thing I can think about with that conference specifically is Jodie Benson was there, and I'm a huge Little Mermaid tranny, and I brought a VHS and was like, again, a nerd at a con, so just gushing at this like 50, 60-year-old woman and mentioning how like, oh my God, and I talked about Ariel and the unanticipated trans representation. And that's when I saw that she handed me back the VHS and it said, God bless with a capital G. So don't meet your heroes, but also
meet your fucking heroes, man.
You look great in the photo. So that's all that matters.
Yeah. So a little bit of not necessarily Disney nerddom, but like
a little bit of everything. Yeah. If it's if it's aquatic, Pisces energy over here. So the intersection of like witchy, oceany, any type of like allegory for transness or queerness, I'm like signed up for it on the newsletter.
And but in general, you're also like a big Marvel fan, like comic book world. Are you Marvel or DC? Like, do you care?
Typically, I would just say like hardcore Marvel, but then with this latest batch of stuff that has been coming out of DC, like Creature Commandos is really fucking awesome. And pretty much just the James Gunn kiss on everything that's been coming out has been really cute. Like, as corny as the new Superman is, I eat up corny. I love corny. Yeah. So
Yes. Well, that's a
It's
perfect
corny, but
segue.
it's earnest.
Yes. Yes. That's a perfect segue into our like let's catch up because it's been a minute. I
Yeah.
did see Superman. It did take Shauna a million years to see Superman, but she got there.
And it's fair because like because there's been a big gap since the last time we recorded, and so it's kind of nice now that I've like caught up on certain pop culture things like Superman and how not unlike DC, we now have our shit in order. Previously, we were a little more scattershot, the Snyderverse, if you will.
Yes.
Now we've got a plot, we've got a
Yes.
plan, we know where we're going ahead with this
Yes.
podcast. We are the Gunn universe,
See,
and what a great entry with Superman.
yes, yes. Superman was so fucking incredible.
So
I
good.
don't I don't think anyone else had seen it, but when we recorded for Fantastic Four, which I think was our last recording,
Yeah.
but it Superman was the superhero film of the summer. Like even with how much I enjoyed Fantastic Four, but I feel like now that at least you have seen it, Shauna and Z, it sounds like you've seen it too. Like it's not even a comparison. Like Fantastic Four, it was the Fantastic Four. It was just okay, but
Yeah. It was
Superman, yeah, you
good
loved how
enough.
you, yeah,
Yeah.
it was good enough. It was fine, fantastic. But Superman was just, it made me genuinely happy to be watching it, like in a way
Mhm.
that I haven't in, like I was just smiling the whole time, even with Marvel properties that I love, like, there's this, an additional weight because I do have expectations. Like I do know the source material way more. I don't know shit about shit in the DC world except for what
Mm.
has been shoved down our throats for the last 20 years. But this being, I didn't even see this other Supermans when they came out. Like I don't even know if I've seen all of the old ones. So like this one just through and through loved it. The metaphor of the many metaphors throughout, but it didn't feel heavy handed. It didn't feel, obviously, given that the world is on fire and there's some very easy comparisons, it didn't, you could pluck this out of 2025 and it would be a fantastic, relatable plot regardless.
Yeah, you could pluck it out of 2005, and I think that doesn't necessarily say anything good in some ways, but also like, but
Mhm.
it's so true though. Like, but I think it shows just how those plots are that, looking back a decade, 2 decades from now, I think this movie's still going to stand up as a love letter to what superheroes can be, to this desire for peace. And again, like we were saying, earnestness, this genuine desire to help others. And this is where we can kind of get into some spoiler talk. So if you have not seen Superman, fast forward a little bit. But
Yes.
the little, because like I am a DC fan, like that is a big thing for me, is something that I have a lot of enjoyment and love for. So I loved everything, be it the like edgy punk rock Cara Danvers version, which is like from my like underrated favorite cartoon, the Superhero Girls, which is like a great show that like my kid watched, but like also I enjoyed because it is done by the same Lauren Faust, who was the person who redid My Little Pony and like brought that into the new era. She's the same person who did Superhero Girls, and so it's got a really, you know, Tara Strong, another person who I,
Icon.
Never Meet Your Heroes, etc.
Oh,
Like,
wait, no, not an icon?
well, I mean, she is, but also is
Yeah, like,
very. She's modern woman, Christian child. Like it's that era of woman
moral
at the end of the day.
superiority, fucking respectability
And
politics
but you
ass.
know what though? Not every celebrity's politics needs to be the politics that I look up to. Because at the end of the day, I'm not going to like. She's still an icon, and I don't need to necessarily like. I'm not looking to her for guidance on the Middle East. It just is the way it is.
Exactly.
But anyways, I digress. But so
Yeah,
Superman.
Z,
But yeah, like
what did
so
you think about Superman?
Bizarro. Oh,
Oh, yes. Okay, wait. So, Z, overall, what were your thoughts of Superman before we talk some of the cool
yeah.
spoilery things?
I think a lot of it was just the saturation of just how it was shot. I really enjoyed just how colorful it was. I feel like
Yes.
so much of like the Snyder version of things was just so drab and boring. And it's like, I have a Batman vinyl that's just like goofy, fun noises from the TV show. And then you look at some of like, even back to Dark Knight, and it's like, this is all just taking itself way too seriously. And
So seriously, he's dressed up as Bat, guys.
Yeah, I really liked the color saturation. I loved the dog. The dog was so much fun.
Please, please.
Without spoiling
Such
anything, the dog is so much
Yes.
fun.
Yes. Oh, and we're spoiling things.
Okay,
I
great, 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 great.
especially
the dog
because
was a monster, and I love so much.
Oh yeah,
yes,
absolutely.
I I did go to doesthedogdie.com like in the like when I saw that Crypto was going to actually be a part of the movie and not just like, they showed him in the trailer and then we'll see him one more time because I literally said to my friends I was like if something happens to this dog, I'm out. And like you don't want you don't want to see what I mean when I say I'm out. I'm out of control. I'm out of this building. I'm out of this life. You don't want to see it. Um, and so I will say, and actually, this is another James Gunn thing. They did a really good job of like Crypto gets hurt, Crypto gets captured, but it's like so brief. It doesn't like it. I don't even really think it shows the dog in distress. But the same thing was true in uh, most of Guardians of the Galaxy 3 where like there are some pretty graphic moments when you're like they are torturing these animals but they never show it and they just give you enough context to understand that these animals are being experimented on. So I just think that that is something that James Gunn does really really well, and I didn't put that together until just now and I remembered I would feel the same way about Guardians of the Galaxy.
I think it was either New Rockstars or one of the 50 review channels that my husband and I watched that said there were some test screenings where it did show a little bit more and it tested really poorly. So
Yeah.
I'm grateful. Thank you, fellow animal violence sensitive people, for making sure
Yes.
that that didn't make it to the screen.
Yes. So we also got, as Shauna said, one of the big spoilers is it's very obvious that the what was his name, Ultraman.
Yeah, that was what they called him.
Yeah. Um, he ends up in like the negative zone or something, and we kind of get a sense that he's going to come back as Bizarro. As like it was 100% like my first thought. Oh, that's going to be Bizarro. I did love that.
Yeah, as soon as they showed a Superman clone, I was like, "Oh, okay, this is gonna go."
Uh-oh.
The fact that it already went wrong and he couldn't talk is already like,
Yeah.
no. This is, oh,
And we do also get the incredible messy drunk Supergirl, which Shauna can elaborate on, or I'm not sure if you're super familiar, Z, but I did not know that that was a sort of like a version of Kara that exists in the comics. And so when she said thanks for watching him, bitch, and then dipped out, I was like, I'm in. I was already in because I love Supergirl from like the Justice League era of Batman Superman adventures. Uh, she's great there and she's so fun. And obviously, I always love the girl characters. But if there's like a messy version of her that we're going to get, I'm thrilled. So please illuminate this other version of Kara that is coming.
yeah. So I love a good fuck up character, and especially the like she's as Superman's cousin, the like one who's like, oh, I didn't get this like great like idyllic childhood with the perfect parents, and instead she is took a different route, and so she was, and in some versions she's older because she's like like her like spaceship arrives late, so she like arrives at like 16 instead of as a baby.
Yeah. Right. So the whole thing is like she in the like the typical canon, her and Kal-El are both shot from Krypton, but she hits like a meteor or something and goes off course and then eventually comes back down and Clark has had this great life. But you were saying there's a version where like she is the one that touches down instead of Clark, or I can't
Maybe that's the
remember.
one. I think that's the correct. Like that's the. I was like, I know there's something that happens that like her age is different than how Clark's
Yeah.
is. Like because I
Yeah.
think she's usually like sometimes seen as older initially, or like that's
Interesting.
where.
Because I just think of the Melissa Benoit version and like well also the Batman Superman adventures. I think she seemed younger. They coded her as younger, I guess. They never really talked about ages.
Yeah. Oh, now I want to go watch the CW verse Supergirl. That's like on the list of things that I only watched like the first season of, and as
Same.
again one of the shows with a trans character in it, I feel inclined, like I want to watch it.
Hmm. Um, okay, so other nerd things that have come out. Anyone Marvel Zombies yet?
Oh yeah.
I still
Oh,
need to watch it.
Shauna! Z, what did you think? I guess without ruining it for Shauna, because
I'm a little late sometimes.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm
Uh,
almost done with Drag Race.
wait, it's been.
don't go down that rabbit hole with her, Z. She's baiting you.
I was about to say there's
She's
like
baiting you.
50 of them going on at any given time.
Yes.
Um, for Marvel Zombies, my husband and I have discovered this wonderful new obsession of panel by panel comic books that are being read out loud, and we listen to like a couple of the different Marvel Zombie runs that way. So I was really excited to see how they were going to tie that into kind of like what we've already seen established within the What If series that this is crossing over from, as well as like I don't know, there's been a little bit of wishy-washiness with how much of this is tied to the representation of like the live action versions we've seen, because some of the voice
Mhm.
acting is the exact same, if not like some of it is very much modeled after the people. So without spoiling anything, one of them was very interesting to see how closely it was modeled after someone who is no longer going to have a title as of whatever today's date is. But I really liked it. I'm truly trying not to spoil anything because all of the things
Yeah.
about it are very specific. So
Well, what's the what? Who's the character that's in? I think it's okay if we say what characters are in it, as long as we don't
I'm
destroy any plot
I'm
points.
also not super, like, I read the
She's
initial
not a
run
big.
of Marvel Zombies, like that it's not
You
one that I'm
did?
like absolutely.
Oh, sick.
Oh yeah, back during the like there was a period where my spouse made our friend group like foam Marvel Zombies Halloween costumes one year, like 15 years ago.
Incredible. Okay, so and also before we go back to the character you were saying, um, what are you? What is this reading comics panel by panel? What is what like what?
I had it written down in another set of notes that I spilled something on, but there is a channel that like they will just have like high res, like they'll just pan on an assortment of panels and then the creator just kind of like narrates them. Or
Yes,
sometimes it'll that's the version where all of the text bubbles, the voice bubbles have been whited out. But then there's another version that leaves the text, but then they'll just kind of like give a synopsis of what each panel is showing. So
interesting. I know that they did. Please, because I know that they did something for season 8 of Buffy. They had like a animated comic where it was just like they just went through the panels and different voice actors read the character dialogue. And I believe they had one also for Joss Whedon's run of Exceptional X-Men. No, not Exceptional X-Men. His run uh, with Emma and the black suit after the new X-Men. Maybe it's his run on new X-Men. It doesn't really matter, but I think it's on Amazon or something. Anyways, you were saying that there's a person. I think. Are you talking about Elizabeth Olsen?
I was not, but she is one of my favorite parts of the series. The other person I
Same,
was
same, same,
talking
same.
about was Blade.
Mm.
Oh, yeah. Shelved indefinitely.
Yeah, but at
That
the
is
same time,
really
I loved what they did with this iteration of it, of having like
yes,
the combination of the two characters.
yes.
I was gonna say, so
Um,
is it voiced then by Mahershala
Mahershala
Ali?
Ali, yes,
Yeah, Mahershala. Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't think it was
yes,
voiced
and
by
it's
him.
well, it was definitely modeled after his
That's what I was
face.
saying. Is like it looks
Yeah.
exactly like him, but it's not him, and they've shelved the project. So it's like this is
Interesting.
weird.
Um, Marvel Zombies voice cast. Oh, it's yeah. He's played Todd Williams plays him.
I'm so proud.
Interesting. I don't like that
Wait,
because everyone else is voiced by the original actor. Like even to the annoying part, like why did we really need Aquafina back? Like no shade, but like I thought we all kind of addressed that
Yeah.
we weren't wild about her whole I'm Asian with a black scent thing.
Well, it wasn't Rachel Weisz, that's for sure. Whoever they got, good lord.
Wait, Rachel Weisz is
She was in the Black Widow movie, and so her character carried over from that.
Yes.
That was not her.
Yes, correct. I don't think I ever noticed it. Okay, so it's also not Okoye or Thor, but a lot of the rest of them are. Carrie Walgreen is who did Melina Vostokov. I think my only real note or like thought about it that's not very spoiler. I don't think it's spoilery. Is like I think they were making it very clear that they are establishing Kamala Khan as the tentpole for this next version of the MCU. Like technically she is, because to your point from earlier, like obviously this is an alternate universe, but like I'm certain that we'll get some nod to it in Secret War or Doomsday or whatever. Like they made Kamala Khan having a presidential candidate and a vice president at one point that had the same name but pronounced it differently does make it kind of hard.
It is.
But Kamala Khan is right. Yes, Kamala Khan is the first mutant in the MCU.
Yes.
So she's obviously got that kind of running behind her.
And she like distinctively that like.
Did you watched Miss Marvel, right?
Yeah.
Like,
okay, but just double checking that's the like what we're...
I believe she's for the first person to be acknowledged as a mutant.
Well,
other than Namor, but like
I think the phrasing was specifically like there is a mutation, and then they put the little bit of a run. Yeah. So that's how they one. And I can't remember if they full on called Namor
a mutant. Yeah.
I can't remember.
Well, either way, she's a very important character. They chose those things to make it clear that she has a strong level of importance in the mutant world, which we know is going to be the next phase. Which hell fucking yeah. Either of you watch Eyes of Wakanda?
Half of it.
It's
I
good.
still haven't seen that one either.
It's what's the word I'm looking for?
Anthology.
Anthology. Yes.
Well, because I remember you had said that it was very like animatrix-y and that like, and I guess, and then you know what, like, and I do find the like historical look backs interesting, but like I also like didn't watch a lot of the what ifs either. Like I find myself skipping a lot of the MCU animated offerings for no real reason. It just doesn't usually like speak to, like it's not appointment television for me. Like none of them are.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. You weren't really big on like the MCU shows even as they came out, right?
I missed a bunch. Like I think I watched. I didn't watch Loki all the way through. Like I just kind of got like, again for no reason. Well, actually, my one partner is not always the easiest person to watch television with, and so it kind of became one of those like waiting to all watch something together, which then became just not watching something.
Yes.
Right, like real quick. And so we have like, I mean, it was why I haven't watched Peacemaker yet.
Oh, have you been watching Peacemaker, Z?
Absolutely, I have. Absolutely,
love it.
Like, for all very good things. It's not like I'm like I just happen to. And again, I have fallen in such a Drag Race hole. I'm
Go ahead, Shauna. Catch us up on where you are on Drag Race. Tell us your favorite moments.
It's the end. It is All Stars season 9, and I watched season 17 again. And like now that I got all the references that I missed the first time around that I just had no idea about, like I was like, oh, this is neat.
Yeah. Glad that you're caught up. Now there are going to be several moments for the rest of Drag Race, so you're just gonna be like, oh. Which also question, I know that they edited out some of the more like explicitly transphobic card things that they used to do in games. Like they changed it to drag queen. Were they still doing the like Tyra Mail style thing when you rewatch the early seasons? The
Oh
you've
yeah,
got
no,
mail
that
joke.
that has stayed in until, gosh, I think it was some, gosh, I'm trying to think what the first season they didn't have it was.
I think it was
But like I remember like it was like a distinctively there was like a trans queen on that season, which I think is part of why it started changing.
Yeah, that makes sense. Um, well, the we kind of jumped right into the perfect segue because I was curious about your experience with like appointment television viewing, Z, and what you have made time for. Like, where did your love of Marvel start? What's your origin story with Marvel? What's your origin story with the MCU? How'd you come to it?
Definitely like animated Spider-Man, animated X-Men, like
Mm-hmm.
Saturday morning cartoons, like, all of those. But also like loved Xena, loved like the early 2000 like leather clad X-Men, love those.
Mm-hmm.
Also, hot take. I think that, of course, I can't remember the name of it now that I've said hot take, but whatever version of Batman and Robin they had nipples on the suits is
Oh yeah.
the best one. Uma Thurman as
Oh
Poison Ivy. Rubber
baby,
lip.
that's not a hot take around these
I believe
parts.
Batman Forever. Honestly, I feel like I have not watched it in the last 10 plus years, i.e. since having come out as queer, and I'm just curious of the how much campier the Joel Schumacher Batman is in a different kind of way that like because it
It's
never
incredible.
bothered me the way that some people hated it, and I just never I didn't have the language for, well, this doesn't bother me like you hate it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Oh, I live
It
for it.
Batman Forever, I think, is the first appearance of the anatomically correct super suits for Batman and Robin. But Batman and Robin is the Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy, Alicia Silverstone as Batgirl, pussy, cunt. Like I'm, oh, sorry. Okay, sorry.
Chris O'Donnell,
Yes, his whatever. He's
Robin.
fine. He's fine.
Yeah, because it's the Chris O'Donnell, George Clooney, and then Val
Yeah,
Kilmer is the one before.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, R.I.P. Val Kilmer.
Did he really die, or did he just
Pretty
socially die?
sure.
Oh, okay.
No. I think he's dead. Like for
Yeah,
realsies.
I think he also, or maybe I'm thinking of the guy that played Superman.
Also
That
dead.
no, but not fucking Christopher Reeves. Dean Cain is who I was thinking of, and how
No,
he
he's
jumped out of nowhere to fucking say that he's an idiot asshole.
yeah.
Um, Okay, so you were saying like the early MCU, like you were a Fox X-Men girly, Fox X-Men programming, yeah,
That and
and
the little known TBN Trinity Broadcasting Network, Bible Man. Bible Man
shut up,
went hard in our house. I had the action
shut
figure.
up.
See, I thought you were gonna go Birds of Prey,
Oh no,
the version with
Nope,
nope. Bible Man.
close, close, so close. I don't. I think
Bible
Birds of Prey
Man,
was
not Bible Woman.
yes.
He was a man.
There's definitely never going to be a Bible woman. Be
Why
real.
would there be?
Um.
Yeah, did
Okay,
you hear that,
so
Erica?
that was a swing at Erica Kirk, wasn't it?
I would never do that. And
No, that would be
how
so inappropriate.
I mean, not yeah, I would never.
No, Sean is so pure of heart. Um, so okay, cool. So did you jump into the MCU right away? Like, because I know I was a Fox down, Sony down, but I don't think I saw a Marvel movie until like Civil War. That was like the first one I
Really?
went out of my yes. I didn't I don't give a fuck
Oh,
about the Avengers.
oh, see, I
Those
was
those.
day one. Like my cousin was like a big X-Men fan, as I've enumerated previously, and we were like day one showing up for all the X-Men movies. Like right,
Oh
like
yes.
Oh yeah.
That's my shit. But like once they started with Captain America and
Mm,
the actual MCU
okay, okay,
proper,
okay.
I didn't see any of those because I don't give a fuck about the Avengers. So that
Mm,
was just never my interest. But when Civil War came, I read Civil War, the comic, largely because of the involvement of the X-Men. And I was like, I have to see how they're going to take this incredibly vast, expansive. Thor comes back from the fucking dead. Like, we talk about Ant-Man being a drunk, abusive man. Nope. Okay, got it. It's just a 5-on-5 battle royale at the fucking airport. And it was great. Thanks, MCU. Um, okay,
did you
so
play the Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2?
yes, I did.
The one that was Civil War. That like and you got to pick your
Yes,
side and like I
I
just
think I
always
kind of remember.
I never ended up picking Iron Man because I never wanted to like I was like I guess I could join the Thunderbolts, so I was like I'm okay.
No. So Z, Black Widow starts phase 4. How kept up were you on phase? Because part of the reason that we're doing this phase 4 rewatch is because Shauna has neglected most of phase 4, and we've got some big shit coming up. So, what was your experience with phase 4? What did you think about it in general?
Um, I watched pretty much all of it. Um, Pretty much with everything. I liked the women led things better. So things like Captain America or Falcon and Winter Soldier, like okay,
Yeah,
that was
fine,
that established some
whatever.
story, I guess.
Sure.
Secret Invasion again. Oof, oof.
Who?
Who? But like
Who?
love the Marvels. Loved. I think that's going back to our previous question. Pretty much when I started hard MCU as it stands now was I was catching up because my husband and I 10 years ago got together and he caught me up probably like Guardians of Galaxy 2 forward. But the first
Mm.
one I remember being like, oh, this is my movie that I'm excited for was Captain Marvel. Um,
That's so good.
loved it, but like also in have different eyes about some pieces of it now. But
Sure.
I mean, I feel like that's every media that you kind of get to sit with for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But not season, phase 4 overall, try to keep up. I think really only missed incremental things. Most of it just because of the nature of how our brains work in this house. We've rewatched almost everything.
Sure.
But I had not rewatched Black Widow until you all approached me with joining you here. So that was a nice excuse to rewatch that.
Yeah, there was a lot of hate for Phase 4 because they took a lot of big swings. And unfortunately, it was also like the most diverse slate of characters and properties. And so it's like, I'm so glad that you all swung so big on the Marvels. What a bummer that it happened during the fucking SAG strike and they weren't allowed to promo it. And then, people just now are being like, wait, this movie is fucking great. But of course,
And in the
everyone else.
post-pandemic period of not going to theaters.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
and that whole era, because that was a big part of like, well, I'm not going to go see the Eternals because like, not
I don't have
going
three
back to
hours to sit
theaters.
around that many people.
Right. Like if you're picking your battles, like,
Yep.
or Black Widow, which was like, what year? 2021,
It was
2020?
2020, I think. Or maybe 2021. Yeah, it
Right.
must have been
Like,
20. It was the beginning of 2020, 20. Sorry, it was the beginning of 2021. Because it was cold.
mhm.
Um,
Ugh.
okay, so, and Shauna, obviously we're not gonna talk like about phase 4 in general, but what was your reintroduction to phase 4? How are you feeling as we're getting ready to rewatch to start this run?
No, I'm feeling like and I say this now having watched Black Widow, that I enjoy it. Like, I think there's a lot of good there. Like, Yelena is such a delightful character and is just so one of my like favorite things of like, oh, this isn't a character that I had any idea of, was not on my radar at all until the MCU. And I'm like, I'm here. I'm so here for her, 10 toes down for this iteration of this character. Like you're onto something. She's funny and charismatic, but you care about her. Like, and that really showed. And I think like having, people like that, or David Harbour's Alexi, like,
Yes.
is such a, like, I still like, I know exactly why I didn't, like, again, I didn't care about Black Widow because I didn't care about seeing a Scarlett Johansson Black Widow
Yes.
movie after the character's already dead.
Yes.
And it just like, I just never was that interested in ScarJo, and so I was always just very kind of met on this iteration of Black Widow anyways.
Yes.
And but also like it was good. It was an enjoyable movie, a lot of good action pieces that you don't always get from Marvel movies in that same kind of like action way.
Yes.
Like there's
Yes.
fight scenes, but not usually like
I can't wait to talk about that fight scene because it's incredible.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let's just jump right into it. Any other thoughts about Phase 4, Z, before we jump in?
No, I co-sign on. There's a lot of really fun, big swing things that they've thrown out there that I hope that we're not going to be skittish about moving into Phase 5. So I'm hoping that we can take some more big swings, because there's a lot of really fun content that we've really barely started bringing into the MCU properties. So I'm excited.
Just the mutant world alone, where they can really go for it. Like, come on, y'all! Please don't fumble this. Okay, so we're here to talk about Black Widow. It came out in 2021. The director is Kate Shortland. We have ScarJo as Natasha
But
Romanoff.
also, I saw Jack Schaefer in the list of people writing on it when I noticed her
really?
name.
I did.
Yeah,
The
which I
diva
had not, I
herself?
hadn't. Yeah, which I hadn't realized that. I'm like, oh, that makes sense why this is the story. Like, it make her writing is absolutely on the movie in hindsight, and I
Yeah,
noted that.
because there's a lot of parts where it's like, oh, that was quippy. Like when she breaks her own nose and she goes, I'm like breaking the septum or whatever. She like responds in kind of what she's doing. Yes. Yeah. Okay, so obviously this is spoiler for Black Widow if you haven't seen it. It also I can't imagine that you are watching. Well, who knows? Maybe there are people that are like, I didn't watch Phase 4, so I want to start getting ready, or Phase 5 is coming, so let's familiarize ourselves. So the movie opens with a flashback in Ohio, because everybody fucking loves using Ohio as like just a generic place where things happen. A young Natasha and her sister, Yelena, live in suburban Ohio with their surrogate parents, Alexi and Melina. Turns out they're Russian spies on an undercover mission. After escaping to Cuba, the girls are taken and forcibly enrolled in the Red Room, a secret program training female assassins. This sets the tone. Natasha's upbringing wasn't just tragic, it was weaponized. That scene where they are separated hit a little bit harder this time around, given what's happening in the world right now. Like that scene, anytime stuff with like siblings, like even it, my relationship with my siblings is weird, but like there is a specific dynamic between siblings that you're just like, oh fuck, imagine. And then little fucking when she steals that dude's gun and and threatens to shoot, I was like, all right, bad bitch. Anyways, sorry. Thoughts on that first prologue? How did that land with you all?
I think that like for folks who and I don't know about both of you extensively, but growing up in Ohio, some of it felt like, oh yeah, this is pretty blank slate middle America vibe. So like I'll take the read. It feels applicable. And I really like again, I've watched far too many breakdowns about this at this point, but just some of the visual things that come back later in the film that they establish within these first few opening minutes was really fun. I like that attention to detail, especially when it comes to something that's not just a set dressing; it's like a totem within the actual movie.
Ooh, what? Say more. You could, we can. In case we forget to draw the line between those. What are you talking about?
So there's like at the very end, they're like, okay, it's time to go. It's go time, and like you can immediately tell that the Natasha character is already unsettled. And then I didn't realize it when I was watching it, and even when I was rewatching it, but they kind of established like she's already been to the Red Room. Like this is not just the adult's assignment, this is her assignment as well. And so
Right.
just like understanding the psychology of here's this severely traumatized young woman who's put into another country, has it's all of it is just it just kind of was overwhelming. Not the best scenes to watch before you go into group therapy, I found out last week. So but some of the physical pieces where you could tell she knew that it was ending upon rewatching, and so she tried to grab this photo album, and then the mother, she was like, "No, leave it." And then later you see that as she is trash talking, like it was an assignment, we did everything perfect, and then Scarlett Johansson's character sees it on the shelf of like, "Oh, okay, it was all business," but yet the thing I wanted to get back, you went back and basically recreated our Ohio home here in this place as well. So
in this pig pen.
this little pig pen.
Yeah. Shauna, what about you?
Yeah, it was a very heavy opening. Like, and
Yeah.
I thought it was a very good tone setter for the rest, but also like, I think my one big criticism of the movie is that it tells the story via inference a lot, but not necessarily like, I don't know. I just feel like it jumps around a lot, and like, like all of a sudden, like now when they flash forward, because like again, this movie came out after ScarJo Black Widow was already dead, and then they
Right.
fast forward to from her childhood to the post Civil War era, and they kind of paint that picture, but they also kind of want to be a little loosey goosey on years now, because as there's like a weird time jump, and that universe is 5 years ahead of our actual world, and it's like, but so it's like
Yeah.
it just
Totally.
all felt a little messier and a little like now I'm here. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, now there's this character. Like, and it's just I
Well,
feel
like,
like there needed to be more exposition.
yeah, and it's between it takes place after Civil War when she's on the run. So if you haven't seen, I mean, I guess they do kind of lay it out pretty easily for you, but like if you haven't seen it, then like, you don't necessarily understand like when she dyes her hair blonde at the end, and it's like all this stuff that you're like, right. And granted, again, we were watching it, however many years after it came out, but also it came out after the character died. So like everything, this was too late. It like this would have worked so well even if they had done it in between um Infinity no Civil War and Infinity War, like that. Of course they were never going to give her a movie that early, but why set it during that time? Like what the fuck? I
But
guess I never
again,
really
it
thought
just
about
goes to show why did you need to have this movie? Like but like it just felt kind of, I don't know. But again, its point was to introduce more characters and just to like give the actor a swan song, because they're like, okay, no. And I think this is something to be said for the fact that Marvel, for as much as I love it, doesn't do great in terms of leading women. That I feel like the hate that Captain Marvel gets, and even Miss Marvel too by extension, and Black Widow, and that's it. Like she's the only like big girl Avenger. Again, like Scarlet Witch is there, but like
hmm that's like a completely separate thing. Scarlet Witch and even Elizabeth Olsen as Wanda Maximoff is its own, like, not to reuse the expression, but like tentpole. Like there are people that are invested in the MCU because of her. I don't know that a lot
right.
of people came to the MCU because they're like, I gotta see what they do with Black Widow. Like, I don't know that she's that. I feel like obviously she's probably gained importance since her entrance into the MCU. There's this like incredible Russell Dodderman is a comic book artist, and he has done a series of covers that are like just uh all the variant costumes of that character. So he's done one for Storm and Scarlet Witch and Jean, and he has one for Black Widow. And he's like my favorite artist. And I was like, wow, that's so cool. I don't give a fuck about like not even looking at this beautiful piece of art. I'm like, I don't want to know about any of these other ones. I don't care. I know that's awful, but like she's a
No,
bang bang shoot 'em up assassin.
see,
That's great. Right, like
I
That's
really
sorry.
did enjoy it, and I liked its placement because I
Same.
think it kind
Same.
of gave us a moment to send off Scarlett Johansson in that iteration of Natasha, but I think as we're looking at now in hindsight at Thunderbolts and Hawkeye and all these other series, that now it's having watched this introduction of the character of Yelena, I feel like it makes me so much more inclined to be rooting for her in the rest of these
Sure.
properties, and like a sense of like I just like even thinking back to rewatching Thunderbolts after this, looking at the introduction of Taskmaster, of just like she died so quick. Well, spoiler for Thunderbolts,
Yeah,
I
spoiler.
guess.
LOL.
Just like with how that character was just dispatched literally so quickly, and then her just
Yeah.
summation of she had a hard life, she killed a lot of people, and then she died. And it's like
Yeah.
you know that after learning more about Yelena and how hard that woman cares for the people that she's close with, and specifically looking
Yeah.
at the end of the movie and how there's a kinship with the other folks who went through the Red Room, of just she cared so deeply for this woman, but then she can only really move forward with her emotions of like not even grieving, but just, hey, this is who she was, and this is what was her life, and this is the result
Right.
of it. Like, I don't need to go into
Yeah.
this. So I feel like I would not have such an inclination to care as deeply about Elena's character if it wasn't for this
Hmm.
movie. And I feel like it might have gotten lost in the shuffle if it would have been kind of posted up a little bit further back. But I
Sure.
fully agree, like maybe before the character died, or like maybe
Yeah.
immediately after the character died, not 2-3 years after. So
Right.
Yeah. No, but
And specifically the thing about, like, it is, to be clear, I really like Black Widow. I think I loved this movie. I loved it when I saw it. I've rewatched it a couple of times. And I think she does a great job. I like her as Natasha Romanoff. I am invested in her as Natasha Romanoff. And to Z's point, that also very much so, meeting Yelena in the context that we do, and seeing how much, because we get all this stuff about how much Natasha cared about her family, and like she wanted to find her family, and like that was only harder for her younger sister, who was like, I'm not an Avenger, like you're like, so that character in particular, she's probably like one of my favorite parts of the MCU, period, point blank.
yeah.
But then let's keep it jumping to actually get to the part where Yelena is like grown up and in the movie. So after the events of Civil War, Natasha is on the run from the government because she didn't want to register herself. While hiding out in Norway, she gets a package from Yelena, and it's
but
vials
also,
of
why
red.
does she need to register herself? She's just a fucking dude.
Yeah,
It's
she's
appropriate.
literally just a bang bang shoot 'em up.
Like, she ain't got powers. She's just like,
No, but so I guess that's a good question of whether they were registering them as superhumans or as
yeah.
superheroes.
Right, like
Because she
super,
is
like
super
she's like, maybe she's like superhero passing. Like, is that the like situation?
great. Yes, Sean, that's exactly
Okay,
what it is. She passes.
okay,
She's stealth as a superhero. Um,
yeah.
so we learn about this antidote called the red dust that frees the widows who are trained in the red room
But again,
from
it just kind of
mind
shows up
control.
suddenly. It's like, and like
Yeah.
now we're here. Oh yeah, and you can get the widows out of their trance. And like again, like you can kind of see it, but like there's nothing that gets us to this point in the story other than it's here. Here you go.
They explained it.
But if you remember, it starts with the rogue widow who wakes up Natasha
Right.
or wakes up Yelena. So like I thought that plot line of like this dust actually was like kind of compelling. It's just very like there's a name for it. Like it's the cure all. It's like the
It's the what's it? It's the
widget, not
suitcase.
the
Um
Deus Ex Machina, like intervention from the gods.
yes.
It's like, here you go. This thing
Yes.
will cure all the problems. Like, oh, okay, got
That
it.
is
Cool. What a beautiful. There's
MacGuffin.
a name for it
That was
as
what I was
a
thinking of.
Oh, it'll come back to me. Um.
It is Deus Ex
Okay.
Machina though. That is
Yes,
the
which is like one of my favorite phrases that I learned in literature. Okay, so none of that stuff is really worth talking about too much, because this jumps right into to me, one of my favorite action scenes in the MCU, especially of Phase 4, which is their reunion in Budapest, which is like a
Budapest.
hysterical Budapest. I'm pretty sure it's Budapest. Natasha reunites with Yelena. It's tense and emotional, and they have this fucking all-out brawl in Natasha's old apartment. We get like a couple of cute moments where there's like arrows, and Yelena's like, "What kind of gun does that?" And she says it's arrows, and it's, obviously it's a nod to Hawkeye. But this first reunion of them, that of course starts violently, like, just what's your thoughts? What did we think of this Budapest reunion?
I think it's a good allegory for trauma meeting trauma, and just like we want to be able to reconnect with those that maybe we have a history with, but like when trauma meets trauma, sometimes it's so hard to trust and to lean into that like, yeah, you're gonna brawl for a little bit until you can prove like, hey, I'm not gonna do it right now.
You talked about this in therapy, didn't you? Because that is like so. I'm kidding. That's
so much right now that it's literally like,
yeah,
people cannot have conversations with me outside of therapy because it ends up devolving into all this shit.
But it is the fucking truth. Like, you are supposed to be sisters. Why is your instinct to fight, other than that is kind of how sisters are? But like, that's that neither of them know what's really going on with the other one. Why are you here? Why did you send me this?
Mm-hmm. Why'd you bring it back?
That's yes, that's a great point. Why are you why do you land like that? Yeah, so we have this big fight scene. Shauna, okay, sorry, I know you probably already said this. Was this your first time watching this movie?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, great. So, what did you think about the reunion of Yelena and Natasha?
I mean, I just thought it was good. Like, honestly,
Yeah.
like I was like, oh, this is a very like all of a sudden like again, I thought it was like, kind of a little quick. Like I felt like it just like was it that like, and now like, oh well, I sent the package to you, and there's like a lot of like.
Yes.
Okay, you're like, all right, yeah, okay. Like, why would you have sent it to your long lost sister? That did you know that she was your sister, and but you haven't really talked, but like you have kind of like, and they just there's just like a lot of like, it's fine, just don't worry about it. They're getting past this moment real quick.
No, I thought it made a lot of sense because it's like she's like, you're an Avenger, you're like on the news here. Put this, take this, and make good.
Yes.
So like, and of course they explain that. So of course I'm just regurgitating what they did.
Right. Like that's right. Like I'm like I get, but like I just wanted a little more show and a little less tell of the like.
Well, how did she figure out where she was? Because she's literally on the run. That's the part that, as you're saying that, I'm like, wait, I don't think
she's on the run. But that's what I'm saying. Like she's on. Like I just felt it was like a little like she's on the run, and then she knew to return to her old apartment in Budapest, and like.
Yeah.
Like all of those, like a little, like I was like, okay, like I was like, all right, they just needed to maneuver the chess pieces to the right location positions, and that's
even
fine.
a note with the package, like, tag, you're it, found you, meet me in Budapest, meet me at your old place in Budapest or whatever. Like,
what if it gets intercepted and read the note?
But you know, to Shauna's point, there is quite a bit of inference. You do just kind of have to be like, yeah, we'll go with this. And I did, because I really didn't think about like, you know, they also have one disposable black character, which I don't think I ever put a note of in here, but it's her best friend that does all this stuff for her. Okay, so we do meet that character before this reunion. He is her, yikes, helper. he found her. He found her this place. He finds her a Quinjet later in the movie, or Quadjet. He gets her all these. He's like her black market connection, but he's literally a magical Negro. He exists for no other purpose than to advance the plot of the main white character, and then
And again,
nothing else from him.
they never showed any sort of like, I was like, oh yeah, of course, from his existence in these other MCU titles of blood.
Oh,
but again,
yes.
the fact that like there's like all like it's like all of a sudden we're just like in this like, and I guess of course she has friends and acquaintances in her life. She's
Sure.
like, but it just feels like
She's a
the
super spy.
Marvel
She's got
movie.
connections.
Yeah, but I just like it just feels like again like a little like you just have to connect the dots yourself because they just needed something to keep moving along the parts because you need to have her like he has just enough connection that he can get her anything, but it all works bad because he's kind of bad at his job, but he's kind of good at it if you give him more than a day's notice.
Right.
And it's like,
and then there's also this like sexual tension too. Like I wonder if there was a pre-screening where it's like they're implying that they're fucking or something. Like, why is this man running these errands for you? I know she pays him, but like, whatever. I don't know. Maybe we're reading too much into it. But he is a textbook magical Negro. Like he advanced the storyline for us. Thank you, sir. And then he shucked and jived his way off the stage. See you later.
good lord. Until he shows up again with an even more magical super jet.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Right. Exactly.
All right.
So during this little reunion part, we learned that this dust can free the widows, and that Yelena wants to take down the Red Room, which Natasha thinks she already did with Clint. So there is one of the things that we finally learn about her that was alluded to in the movies was she was an enemy agent. She was a spy for the Red Room, and she defected to S.H.I.E.L.D. And what we learned was killing Dreykov and destroying the Red Room was her final sort of pledge of allegiance to S.H.I.E.L.D. to say that she had crossed over. So we do get that. I think that was a cool bow. And, again, I don't know that if you hadn't seen all the other movies where we learn about her relationship with Clint and all that stuff, then, this wouldn't be impactful, but it is, thankfully. So let's see, blah blah blah. Taskmaster is introduced. Okay, so we have this incredibly trained assassin, and her foil in this movie is a person who can copy any fighting style, thus making her essentially like unbeatable. So that's cool, but when we find out more about her later, that it is interesting. But we have a cool fight scene with her.
Is it the same actor in Thunderbolts?
Yeah.
Okay, because I just like again like going back to that kind of like all of a sudden like wow, like literally I don't think ever speaks a sentence like or like after she's yeah like and it's then they're like yep, this is the expendable one. Like yeah, and I guess like but also like Taskmaster is like a whole like I don't know, just it's fine.
Sure. Z, what were you saying?
She literally didn't even have a line in this movie. The only dialogue she had before being killed off was like, "I'm not here for you." Like that's your one line.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it was like, is he dead or like is he gone? Like that was it. That was
yes.
Like, and that was like, all right, like because you all fucking know that guy's an asshole.
Yeah.
Right. That okay. So they decide that they're going to team up and they're going to take down the Red Room together, but they need some help. And they decide they're going to reunite with their father, Alexei, who is Red Guardian, who is essentially Russia's answer to Captain America. He got the super serum. He is in prison, although I don't know if we know why.
They ultimately explain it through his talking about how like but again it was all like I helped him and then he put me in prison.
Oh sure.
Yeah, in Soviet Russia, prison government jail you.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
so played by the absolute daddy of a man, David Harbour. I'll raw dog in every version. Stranger Things, this one, Thunderbolts. Come here, David Harbour. Let me see what that butt.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, so yeah, we we get him in prison, and yet Natasha and Elena break him out.
All I can think is he's getting a back tattoo. And so for the rest of the movie, I'm like, he's got a fresh prison back tattoo. Like that sounds
he
like
sure
the
does.
most like overstimulating thing that I like. That's the only thing I'm really struggling with in this entire movie is
Yeah.
how is David Harbour running around with a fresh back piece?
Well, he's got the super serum, so it
Oh
probably
yeah.
heals
They have to
really
get super
quickly.
needles.
I don't know, because is the skin impenetrable?
Well, like I always think about that with like shaving and shit. Like,
Yeah. Don't ask questions we don't want answers to.
You're right. You're right. Sorry.
Well, it's very clearly that Alexei doesn't shave, which makes him even fucking hotter. I must be feral because the thoughts going through my brain. Okay, so there's a cute little scene. We learn that Red Guardian is like obsessed with himself. He really is like frustrated that that he didn't get the recognition that Captain America has gotten. And so the way that they break him out of prison is like really endearing because they like hide it in a Red Guardian toy, and that's how they get the message to him. But we have this kind of insane retrieval that involves an avalanche.
Love.
Like absolutely insane. But they successfully extract him. Any other thoughts from this moment of first impressions of David Harbour as Alexei?
I mean, what you said, I probably wouldn't use those exact words, but that sentiment was pretty accurate.
Yeah. You want to know what his butt smells like? Because that's
again, not how I would say, or perhaps, but you know.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Sorry. And Z, your thoughts?
Just a lot of blushing and a lot of quandaries that are running through my head that I don't know if I recorded at this time. So
yeah, I really can't believe I said the butt thing.
I can.
So they get Alexei out, and they're like, oh, well, we can't do the thing that we need to do. We need Melina, the mom. So we are having a full-blown family reunion.
I kept thinking it was the Mortal Kombat woman who like removes her mask, and it's
demons.
Like every time they say Melina, yeah. And then I get disappointed.
She when they catch up with her, she's working on a pig farm that we learn she is basically using mind control on these pigs to train them in the same way that the Red Room is training the girls. And I had a real big issue with that. I was like, am I supposed to find this endearing that she like low-key tries makes this pig almost die?
No, I don't. No, I don't think so. I think it was more just I think it shows just how kind of fucked up that whole situation is.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's showing like the reprogramming or programming that in the short time Yelena has even experienced, and Natasha's experience of just saying like, this is exciting for you, but for us this is like, why are you doing this? You could have just said this. You didn't have to show us. And she's like, I'm just showing you, which is like, how often do people in our lives, parents or whatever, they're just like, what? I'm just showing you. And it's like, you don't have to do that at all. Like, you could have just said
Excellent
it.
point.
Yeah. So
it is like one of the most true parental dynamics that we see come out is like this near, like basically intentional re-traumatization of their children for the sake of the bit, basically. Like, I just wanted to show you. That's a really great point.
This could have been an email.
But we do get this lovely family dinner moment. Melina plays what's her name, right?
The mommy.
From Rachel Weisz, exactly. That's why you said that earlier. And she also is in Dark Knight as Ra's al Ghul's daughter, right? She's Talia al Ghul.
I don't remember
She's not?
the actor's name, but
Maybe.
not Rachel Weisz.
Talia al Ghul, Dark Knight Rises. Oh, no, it's not. It's Marianne Cotillard. Interesting. I fully thought that was
That's a
Rachel
name
Weisz.
that I know of, but I
Yeah,
could never be like, oh, of course, that
same.
actor.
Right. So we have this endearing moment with the family reunion. We get a couple of cute kind of like, Alexi trying to be dad. They're at the dinner table. Alexi tries on the Red Guardian suit and also still totally does it for me. So let's talk about this family reunion dinner moment because Z, I think you already kind of acknowledged this, but we have Yelena as sort of like the voice of truth, of saying the thing that no one else is saying, which is like that meant something to me. And despite everyone else saying that it didn't mean anything, it very clearly did. So if you want to pick that thread up.
I think it's also just like I can see two different mindsets, and I think both are valid. Of just, I can see it from the mindset of looking at it pragmatically and be like, none of this was real. We were asked to play a part in something that was really shitty, and we did it. Why are we pretending like this? Why are we still pretending? Like, I feel like that does have validity in it, but also I think there's the human aspect of it. Of just because it was something that you were coerced or it was your orders to do, because very much as a child, like, you don't have that agency. You were coerced into doing this, whereas the adults in the room, this was their charge and they consciously made an effort to do it. But I think that understanding that if you're going to play pretend for so long, eventually some of that is going to involve a very human feeling, even if you are USSR spies.
Right. Right.
I think that both of the sisters bring a very valid point of like, do not try to guilt me with this. You're not my mom.
Yeah.
You're not my real mom, and you never will be.
Yes, exactly.
But also this very human aspect of like, you can't fake making up whistles to each other. Like, that's real. That's real.
Yeah.
So
Totally.
yeah, I think both of them. I'm really hopeful that these characters, in some imaginary way, went into EMDR or something to work with trauma.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. They got a lot of EMDR to practice though, and that shit is
Good
tough.
Lord.
Boots. I don't think USSR assassins are ready for it. Shauna, what did you think of the family reunion? Because I feel like you have your the side of the balanced Libra that is coming out is not the woo woo, this is beautiful. It's the other side is coming out. I feel like so far you've been kind of like critical, but not like in a bad way, just like not in love with it.
No, and I think that's fair. Is like, I feel like it was like I felt like this movie was like, again, it's like Fantastic Four. Like, this, what a great Marvel movie. Like, what a Marvel movie. Like,
sure.
and I think that's kind of been how I felt about a lot of them. That even like, it's not that I didn't enjoy it. It's not like, man, I wish I had my 2 hours back. It's just, I think that there are ways in which it could be just a little bit better, and I want just a little bit more. And I'm taking a critical eye to these things because I do love them. I do want more positive things with women, and I want to see these great dysfunctional, fucked up families and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, I really can't get over Z's just full blown welcome. It's giving dark lady laughed and danced and lit the candles one by one. So there was something that we were just talking through that really, I don't know, sort of illuminated itself to me. The first of which being this idea of the youngest sibling being the cycle breaker, as we often are. I know Shauna is an only. I can't. Are you an only, Z?
I was for 10 years, and then I had a brother. So
Okay.
I don't know what that says.
So you're the oldest. You're the eldest daughter, in the words of T Swift. Not
Eldest.
that I give a fuck.
Jesus. Eldest slash. I feel like the only child mindset really kind of set in by 10.
Yeah, that really must.
So,
like from a developmental standpoint.
Ain't it fun?
So, yeah, I mean, I guess I am the youngest, and I definitely feel like that is a experience. You know, the parents that you. This is more about like actual real life because these are not their real parents, whatever. But like the parents you get as the youngest versus the parents that the oldest gets are usually two completely different sets of parents, and usually with being the youngest, like you have a lot less restrictions, and I feel like there's often, for whatever reason, like a different level of emotional awareness or emotional attuneness. And that also could have been, you know, I had two older sisters and a very emotionally expulsive mom, so like I was constantly kind of figuring out everyone else's feelings and how to keep them all happy. But like the cycle breaker thing was harder because I was emotionally attuned to all these people. And so I feel like this Yelena literally like begging for them to care about her, like that resonated with me in a way that is like, look, I unlearned the thing. I'm ready to be here with you all as adults and as a family.
Right.
And you hoes are not even fucking trying. And the difference between Yelena and me is that I gave up. But, you know, I think that the other thing, and this is also kind of, I haven't really thought about this until we were talking earlier. And it's kind of emotionally vulnerable, so I don't know how much of this I'll actually keep in, but I've been exploring a lot of my feelings around being adopted lately in a more in-depth way, and like learning about more of the experiences of other transracial adoptees. And there's something about that scene of the, you know, you're like, you're not my mom, you're not like, all of those dynamics exist within adoptive families, and it's even harder when you don't look like a part of that family. And so there is this like almost express, like, I know I'm adopted, I know we're not blood related, but like I love you like family. And in a similar vein with them, Yelena's like, I know it was fake, but like you were my parents, and I still want you to be my parents. And I feel like as a person who has actively moved away from my family, my adoptive family, that desire to still have regular fucking parents still hurts. And like I still feel very much so like Yelena in a lot of ways, where I'm just like, I have both of those mindsets that you were talking about, Z, and I think this probably applies to more people than adoptees. But like there's one part of me that was like, you all wanted a kid, and this was the kid that you got, and you were not prepared to deal with that kid or love that kid how that kid needed to be loved. So here I am, this version of me that is independent and self-sufficient, and I don't really feel the need to have a relationship with you all because we did the thing. You got me here. Congratulations. But then the other side of that is Yelena being like, but I also, we had a whistle. We had these things that actually made us family. Why can't you hold on to that? So I don't think I was thinking that when I watched it until we start external processing. Sometimes I don't need a therapist. I just need a backboard. But yeah, thanks for letting me run that through, because especially the two mindsets component of it, like that really is like a fluctuation on a day-to-day basis of being like, fuck these people, why don't they love me?
See, like I'm
Right.
so You brought up the sibling dynamic because, like, as the oldest sibling who I broke up with my parents last year and my younger brother, and it's like I feel like I've broken some cycles and I've had to remove myself from it. So very much in the space of like, why are we pretending? Why do we have to keep pretending when none of this is real? This is all just we're doing this out of forced habit or we're doing this out of obligation. Like none of this is real. Why do I have to be a part of it? And then someone saying like, it's because you're right. And it's like, no, I don't need that. So I'm glad that we each could have that sibling dynamic pop out at us.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like, Shauna, there was definitely something that was probably on the tip of your tongue. I don't know if you were going to say something, but I know that part of that probably resonated with you too.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, as some like in that terms of cycle breaker, like, you know, I was both the like only person from my family to go to college. Like I was like that cycle breaker, and but I was also the like, you know, became estranged from my family and step family, and like had no contact, you know, when my father passed, and like.
And the thing that I was kind of like sticking out for me though is like something that a lot of us experience, especially like along the spectrum of transness and deciding to be fucking happy, deciding to do whatever it takes to be happy is like the ultimate fucking cycle breaker for people that come from toxic families. Because not to just like swing at your family that I don't even know that well, Shauna, but like you could have just been miserable and stayed where you grew up and been another one of the people who are miserable in that area that you lived in. And like I feel the same way. Like I was just reflecting with Anthony, my lifelong best friend, about how, you know, when we were freshmen in high school, he called me a burnout. And like I really wasn't a burnout, but I was at that time really starting to spend more time with people that smoked weed. And as I like hit my ball 10 minutes ago, but at 14, when, you know, it's a kind of an important developmental phase to figure out what kind of stuff I like. If I had not have had someone call me out, I would have probably not. I don't know what would have happened. Maybe I would have stayed with those fucking loser friends that just got high in the basement, which is a losery thing to do when you're 14. When you're in your 30s, it's just spending time together. That's community. That's community. That's community. When you're 14, it's slightly problematic.
Truly.
Any other thoughts from that general kind of family reunion part?
I have more of just like a logistical question of like if this chemical alteration and this chemical subjugation is already tested and established enough to have widow agents everywhere, why is she still practicing on pigs? Like, are you doing the same thing? Like, is this?
Well, I think it's less that she was. I think they just became her pets then. Like they're like her, like they were her test like subjects. And she's like, well, no, I'm just a pig farmer.
Like the maze part.
No, she's just a pig.
It's just like, why are we running drills? Like, why are we running drills through a maze when we've got like a bunch of women without uteruses killing people all over the world?
Right. Flawlessly.
Oh my gosh, that was again, what a very like Anna was going to explain about the fallopian tubes. Like
right, yes. Let's make our dad uncomfortable by talking about our reproductive system.
And not just about our reproductive system, about how it no longer exists because of the fucking assassin program you put me into. So no, I'm not, in fact, on my period because of the shit you did to me.
Yes.
And you should know that.
Like,
yes.
Yeah, right. And I was like, I loved that moment. I thought that was such a good, like...
Very much so. For all of those reasons, too. Like, there, again, not to... So I think one of the themes that is coming through pretty loud and clear from this movie is, like, kids should be meaner to their parents. Kids need to tell their parents the fucking truth.
Absolutely.
And...
Doesn't go well in my experience, but, you know...
Right, yeah, let's be real. Like, it doesn't always end with, you know, a reunion over cute costumes, but tell your parents they fucked you up, man. Tell them
Truly.
in detail. Like, yeah, you know, they went inside and they scrambled it all up and then they yanked it all out. Oh, you don't like thinking about that?
Don't like
Maybe you should have thought about that.
I
Yeah.
think, like, looking at how this, like, it was a picture perfect moment. They were all holding hands and getting into an aircraft at the end, but then we get to look at Thunderbolts, again, spoiler warning for Thunderbolts, and you get to see, like, oh, they all became estranged again. And
Yeah.
that felt like
Yeah.
confirming to be like, oh, okay, great. It doesn't have to end with a
Yeah.
pretty bow. It can end with, oh,
Totally.
he's at home
I was like,
brushing his teeth with shampoo and hand soap or so whatever. And I'm also
man, ADHD long distance relationships are hard to maintain. Great point.
Yeah.
Like,
Or complex relationships of people with complex PTSD.
oh, good
Yeah.
lord.
It's a lot of
just the neurodivergent generally. Like,
attach and avoid all at once. Yeah, that's actually that is a great point that I hadn't considered, Z. Like, I know that they make it clear that, you know, they are estranged, but especially, like, I wonder what it would have happened. Well, so we'll get there, but you know, what would have happened with Yelena and Natasha if Natasha hadn't died? Like, would they have even stayed close, or would the same thing have happened with, you know, them? So the Romanov family decides to take down Dreykov, and because I can't remember if I said earlier, Dreykov was in fact alive, and his daughter that was in the explosion survived and is hideously disfigured. Oh, that's a really mean thing to say. I'm gonna run that back, and, like, she had a lot of scars. She was scarred from. She was physically and psychologically scarred from the explosion. But they have this plan. They're going to do this thing. There's, like, a cute double cross moment where you think Melina has double crossed everyone, but it was all planned. And Melina does a face off moment where we find out she's actually Natasha underneath. But yeah, so we have a lot of really cool spy moments, like that. It becomes a spy movie again for a second, where it's like, oh, who's on whose side, you know? Surprise. I'm looking, and is there anything? Okay, so the Red Room is a floating fortress in the sky. The Widows are chemically mind-controlled, and Dreykov uses them as a global shadow army. Natasha confronts Dreykov, learning that Taskmaster is actually Antonia, Dreykov's daughter, he turned into a weapon after she was maimed in Natasha's bombing years ago. A clever trick lets Natasha bypass Dreykov's pheromone-based control, leading to a brutal fight and his eventual death. And then Yelena gets a standout moment. She sacrifices herself to destroy the Red Room, surviving via parachute in an explosive mid-air sequence. So there's the fight scene that we talked about where she severs the nerve. That's the expression that it was. I severed the nerve. That feels like Jack Schaefer. Like, that just sort of dry, cunty exchange. Yeah, thoughts on this, on kind of the conclusion of the movie. We climax with them getting to the Red Room, and I don't even know if that's technically the climax. Like, is that? I guess the Red Room being just what? Did I have one? Is that what you're asking? Yes,
you can have more than one if it's good. So
yes, that's true. Not in a plot, but
you never know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess really the climax, because it all is downhill from the point where it starts to destroy where they start to destroy the Red Room. But thoughts on the them getting into the Red Room. I know Z took copious notes
that I spilled shit on. So
you said that earlier.
I think it is like a fun little plot device to bring those little mask things back. And again, if you rewatch it and, like, pause shit, you can see that early on when they are first getting there and she's putting her gun in the closet, you can see the masks and the wigs and everything behind her. So, like, it's little moments like that when you obsessively comb over it, and I'm glad other people did it for me.
Yes.
it's just fun to see those things sprinkled in because they've already like established that they have that tech previously in other properties. So it's like, oh yeah, that face thing. So
Yeah. Wait, what else did they have it in? Do you remember what that was in?
it was one of either the Avengers or it wasn't an Iron Man movie, but it was Black Widow using it. She just like peeled it off.
Yeah, it was super cunty.
Yeah. And it looks even better now. So
Yeah.
grateful for that.
So she severs the nerve. Like this is the second or third time that Natasha has played the victim in order to advance her agenda. So it happened in the Avengers, where she gets all the information out of Loki. It happened in this one, and I feel like it's definitely happened in another one before. But I also love that plot device.
Yeah.
I love people playing on other people's assumptions
Yeah.
and kind of thinking ahead of that, like outthinking that person. Like, I knew that you thought you were going to be able to fucking get me riled up and that we would fight over it. Like, I knew that you thought that you would still matter to me. Here's the gag: you don't, and you're too much of a bitch to break my nose, so I have to do it myself.
Exactly.
Like, that was fucking great. I loved that part. I loved the conclusion of that whole scene. And essentially, that is the climax of the movie. Like, she is destroying all the records and stuff. But yeah, thoughts on that part.
One of the points that I came across was that at the beginning of the movie, when she's in her little hidey place before the gas or the engine runs out, she's watching a Bond movie. And one of the things that we love in Bond movies that the villains just like tell you their whole plan at the end. And so then, which is really funny to think about, she's a spy watching a spy movie. So like,
yes,
we love narcissism.
Right.
So I really enjoyed that, of like, just like a Bond villain, he's like revealing everything right before she gets to use it against him. So
yeah,
thank you for your cooperation.
Genius. Yes. Shauna, do you have any thoughts on the sort of wrap up of this part?
No, like I think it was fine. Like it was like I like yeah, like
it didn't stand out much to you.
Not particularly. Like I thought it was good. Like I liked the edit. Like I thought it was all kind of like all right. I appreciated as they were getting there, and seeing the Widow Army.
Yeah, I do love a choreographed femme fight scene. So when Dracoff needs when Dracoff is like trying to, I don't like, how do the widows all get summoned on her?
The Kill Bill like dee doo dee like that.
Yeah,
song
and it's just like
plays,
100 widows versus
yeah.
Natasha.
Yeah.
Is that before or after her fight scene with Dracoff?
After he gets out of there is because he like sicks the widows on her.
Yes. And then they shoot down the plane with Dracoff in it, and they're like, we got to see this motherfucker die.
Yeah. The one thing I did love,
and
I love a ring being used as a plot device. So I love that, like, he had that little cunty signet that he had to like use to swipe open. And so I love it when a little ring is used to be, hi.
You just like accessories.
That's exactly it.
Say your femme without saying your femme. I just love accessories.
It's that.
I can't help it. Yeah, so we're kind of like, being very nonchalant about the ending of the movie. And I think that is largely because the best parts of the movie have been what we've discussed, which are like the dynamic within the family, the introduction of these characters, and us getting like a proper, I guess, goodbye, but like a proper showing of what Black Widow is really capable of. Like, she did some cool shit in the other movies and she plays an important role, but it's the Steve Rogers and fucking Tony Stark show. And for her to get this kind of attention and excellent way to tie things together felt really, really good. Like I liked the movie overall. And it's just the fight scenes and shit were cool and the
Yeah.
explosions were cool, but it wasn't this super impactful movie overall, other than the things that we discussed. So I guess it is impactful.
Yeah. Well, and like thinking back to like the epilogue scene with Elaine Bennis showing up and telling like
Oh wait, I have to talk about that for a moment. Because you said Elaine Bennis. And I don't know who that is because I never watched Seinfeld before. But
Julia
it's
I
Louis-Dreyfus.
figured it out.
it's Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and I promise you, it's one of my favorite moments of mine and Ryan Smith's friendship. We reference it often because this was the first appearance of Valentina Allegra de Fontaine, and so no one had any idea that she was being entered into the MCU. And so after, the Red Room is destroyed and Natasha gets her quad jet and her blonde bob moment to go into hiding, and she's wearing the tactical vest that Yelena bought and thought was a really cute fashion moment, which is a moment we kind of skipped over, where she buys this. It's her first piece of clothing that she ever bought herself. It's a big deal. But we get this post-credit scene acknowledging that Natasha has died and Yelena is heartbroken in a very fucking cute, almost Cher Horowitz-esque outfit. And then in comes Valentina Allegra de Fontaine with the nose blowing scene, which is really funny. But at the same exact time, Ryan Smith and I crossed our arms across each other. Like my right arm went out and his left arm went out. And we both said, "Is that Julia Louis-Dreyfus?" In the exact same fucking cadence. Like, could not have planned to be that. But like, it was instantaneous. I fucking love you, Ryan. If you are listening to this, I love that moment. So yes, Elaine Bennis / Julia Louis-Dreyfus gagged us all.
Oh, truly.
Gagged us all. That was a gag.
And
Okay, sorry, Shauna. So Z, go ahead.
She got a dog, and the dog's name is Fanny, which was the fake ID that insert character's name I can't remember gave Scarlett Johansson at the beginning of the movie. So
the Magical Negro. Yeah. Who got it? Oh.
Yelena got a dog.
Yelena gets a dog?
Yeah, because she is getting out of the truck. She goes, "Come on, Fanny." And then this little, I think it's like a Cocker Spaniel, hops out. It's cute.
But we don't see that dog ever again. Is Fanny in Thunderbolts?
No. Bye, Fanny.
Diva down, huh?
Diva down.
Okay, so Shauna, you were saying Elaine Bennis. You love that moment.
Well, yeah, or at least because like I didn't realize that was like the character's first appearance, like which is fascinating that they would just do that again without any sort of exposition. I'm not saying that that's a theme or criticism of mine, but moving right along. So, but with that being said, I was like, okay, I was like, all right, she's like an assassin for hire, like that already. She's working for this person, and then like I was like, oh, that explains why Yelena shows up in Hawkeye. Okay.
It does. It explains why Elaine.
But also, it kind of doesn't really like, okay, one of the Avengers, like one of her fellow Avengers did it. And then she is like, all right, I get no follow up from anyone. Like, she's like, nobody's going to come in and check on her. Like, I was like, wow, it's like fucking, are we sure this isn't our world? Because that government's very shoddily run. Like, there's no fucking check in. Like,
are you talking about check in with Yelena?
Yeah, like why are the Avengers like, oh my gosh, like, again, Clint knows that fucking she has a sister and like talked about her like travails and adventures. Like that was like some of the things they connected on. Like why wouldn't you then be like, oh shit, maybe I should reach out to her? What a great idea that would be. Oh well, better adopt this 22-year-old.
I think she was like, it wasn't implied that she was still like a spy, so they wouldn't know. I think Clint was the only one who knew about her. I don't think she told.
Yeah,
everybody. I think that is probably actually the truth of it.
Shauna Shauna does not like this movie. She has nothing
It's
good to
no,
say.
like I don't like. I walk away with the same feeling I honestly felt before the movie. Of I don't understand why this existed, and
Yeah,
I feel like it could have just been a different, better movie.
sure. It could
Like
have been about it could have just explicitly been about Yelena. What if we found out what
absolutely.
Yelena was up
You
to?
mean a character that I love and has a great future and isn't already dead at the time of this movie's publication? What
Yes.
a fascinating idea!
Well, when you put it that way,
Great point.
Yeah, that is, as you're saying that, that would have been a much cooler, and we still could have gotten some information about Black Widow. We could have, this would have been a really interesting.
Email.
I was going to say White Widow movie because I think that is what her call sign is.
It is her call sign, and I was
And I
like, yeah, her
only know that because of Fortnite.
and Jason David Franks can hang out together.
Yeah, or White Wade Wilson from Deadpool 2, which is one of my favorite bits when he says, "I'm Black Tom
Tom
Cassidy." He says,
Cassidy.
"I'm White Wade Wilson."
We have but honestly, I think this is a really great way about how I feel about Phase 4, just to kind of sum it all up
Sure.
I think there's a lot of interesting characters and ideas here, but I really wish the execution was just a little better. And I walk away feeling like, wow, there's some good things. There's some real there's some real positives here.
Yeah.
And not the least of which is a woman-led vehicle in Marvel.
Yes.
And I think for that reason, as a big fan of that it was why I think you see me actually being a little more critical than I often am. And
Yeah.
again, it's like because I really am not usually like the critical one. I'm usually
Yeah.
very, like, no, I like it,
Yeah.
but
That is a good perspective, though. There's a different level of buy-in when we have that level of attachment to the character, or to the what they're there for, the
yeah,
representation that they have.
right. Well, and I think that's where ultimately, I mean, like thinking about like Hawkeye is like another one that I was reluctant to watch, but ultimately really enjoyed because I
Yeah.
think I really enjoyed the connection and the human elements and the way that they really humanized Clint and in turn helped him find redemption through Kate. And then Kate getting to connect with,
Hey, who?
Yelena, how Kate Bishop and
Who?
wait, what? Clint?
Who are you talking about?
Clint
What?
Barton.
Who does Haley Steinfeld play?
Isn't it? Wait. Isn't it Kate Bishop? Kate
Yeah.
Bishop.
Thank you. It's Kate Bishop.
Kate
You have
Bishop.
to say it like fucking
Kate,
Yelena.
do you not like my macaroni and cheese? I think it's very good. I put a little
Very
extra
good.
spice in there.
Yes. Yeah. While our
Well,
Russian
you have
accents
one
are
spoon. One
leave.
spoon, Kate Bishop. Kate Bishop.
While our Russian accents leave a lot to be desired,
Bishop.
Yelena Florence Pugh does a great job, and specifically the way she says Kate Bishop throughout the entirety of
It's
the
so
show, and she
good.
has to say first and last name.
Has to. She's but some people are just first and last name people.
oh,
Carrie
yeah.
Gibbons.
Carrie Gibbons, Michael
Mhm.
Bartolucci. Like same. Like I get it.
Okay. Anyways, so let's wrap it up. Overall ratings, feelings, Shauna, on a scale of 1 to 10. No, on a scale of 1 to 4, with 4 being the best. What do you rate it, Shauna?
2.5.
Okay.
It's above
And Z,
average.
yeah. Z, what's your general feeling and your rating?
I'm really hung up on the scale of 4.
Well, because phase 4,
I guess.
fine, 1 to 5.
Thank you. It makes it so much better for me, my brain.
It does.
I
It does. So, Shauna, you have to reevaluate unless you're keeping it at 2.5.
No,
but,
I'd say 3 then.
okay.
I'd bump it up to a 3 on this 5-point scale.
Shut up.
Likewise, a 6
Shut up.
on a 10-point scale.
Well, thank you. 'Cause I had questions, so thank you for working that out for me. I was going to say
Mhm, got your back.
3.5, but that feels a little harsh with how much I've been talking about how much I appreciate this movie. So maybe like a 4.
Yeah.
But also,
And
like,
so overall,
I just feel like a seal with a bucket at this point, just clapping my little fins, and I'm just gonna gobble up whatever Marvel swill throws at me.
T.
So
Same.
Right, like, but I enjoyed it. Like I enjoyed the Fantastic Four. Like, and
Yeah,
again,
I
that's
also
not a
think
bad thing. Like,
yeah,
but you had no stakes in Black Widow. Like the
I
Fantastic
didn't.
Four was
Neither did
first.
Black Widow. She was dead. That's the problem.
Well, right, exactly. So watching it posthumously versus
Yeah,
Fantastic Four, which
which
is
is the
supposed to
only way
lead
to
into
watch it. It's like, gosh, I wonder what happens in this historical document. Huh.
But it seemed like resonated with you, Z, and it left with some overall good feelings.
yeah. I think probably is just like I've only really been watching horror movies lately, so it was like an opportunity to dip back into like fantastical superhero shit. So
Yeah,
I think that in combination with spending my most of my week in therapy really made me a little bit more contemplative rewatching it. I also think it
sure,
didn't help
sure.
that like I haven't rewatched it since I watched it. I think we did skip the theater for this one. So I
Mhm.
think yeah, only really watching it once at home. It was nice to dip back into it with brain synapses that seemed to be firing in all cylinders.
Yeah. Um, I definitely, I think I would say the same thing. I am. It made me. I enjoyed watching it. I enjoyed rewatching it. Um, and talking through this the family dynamics throughout were very poignant to me. Like, so I think maybe that's the headspace I'm in, but I think I even remembered feeling the same way when I saw it in the theaters. Um, but that is largely because of my own stuff that I kind of talked about earlier. But
Oh,
um, I think I would give it on a scale of 5. I think I would give it like a 3.75, maybe upwards of a 4. It's
okay.
good. To me, it's a good movie. Um, it is not the scale of 5 makes it hard. So who
Is
knows if
it
we'll
better than
continue this.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2?
So fun fact: I have fallen asleep during Guardians of the Galaxy 2 more than once, and
Mm,
I've only seen. I think I've only seen it 3 times. Like no, let me rephrase that. I think I've tried to watch it 3 times, and I've only finished it once.
okay, okay.
So yeah, and also, ew, I don't. It's led by a boy, so it is
No,
better
like, well,
because
but that's what I'm
girl.
trying to think of, like, where it stands in, like, the Marvel. Like, I was, like, trying to think of, like, what, like, level of movie it is. Like, is it better than
Yeah,
Thor: Love and Thunder? Obviously,
everything's
but
better than Thor: Love and
that's
Thunder, except
apparently
for
the
Secret
worst Marvel
Invasion.
movie ever made.
Yeah, yeah,
Even
we
though
need to
Thor is
develop.
probably alive during it. We'll find out.
Shauna, we'll
Time.
we'll we'll revisit our Phase 4 ranking system on a
Okay.
scale, and we'll have it
Okay.
we'll have it better prepared for next time. But
All
um,
right. Like
final
a
2
Pedro
questions.
Pascal's wager.
Sure. I think I'm supposed to get that. I don't get it. I'm
You don't
sorry.
know Pascal's wager? Okay. Is that
No, that sounds kind of familiar. Is it a philosophy thing?
it is it's a philosophy thing, like yeah.
Like the prisoner's dilemma? That does sound kind of familiar.
It's basically like
Anyways,
believing in God. It's like because like the best case scenario is nothing happens if you don't believe in God and you're right,
sure. Right.
versus like the best case scenario if you believe in God and you are wrong, then not the same thing happens as like the
Sure,
best
sure, sure,
case
sure.
the other way. It's like
Oh,
the
yeah, the
whole
worst case scenario of not believing in God and being wrong is that you go to hell. The worst
Mhm.
case scenario of believing in God and being wrong is that nothing happens.
Yeah,
Got
that you're just a fucking asshole to everyone. But neither here nor there. He didn't take that into account in the equation.
Right. So, what piece of memorabilia would you steal from this movie?
Obviously the fucking jacket with all the fucking pockets.
Yeah, totally.
Without a doubt. Slam dunk.
Yes. Z, your thoughts. Sean
Um,
is so self-satisfied.
it would probably be either the little Alexi action figure from the prison
Mm,
or Dracov's ring. Really resonated.
Cunt.
mm. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I think I would. I really like her all white suit. I'm being honest. Like, to be honest, I love Black Widow's all white suit, so I think that's really cunt. Maybe one of the pigs, and specifically David Harbour's underwear that he's wearing
That
in
leaving the
any of the
prison.
movie. Yeah, leaving the prison. No, the piece of memorabilia that I want is the bird's eye view or the fly on the wall perspective of him trying on the Red Guardian suit in the bathroom.
That deleted footage.
Yes, that deleted footage. So the final question of Real Hot Nerd Shit: who is the hottest character in this movie? I have a feeling we're all gonna kind of land around the same places, but Z, who's the hottest character?
I'm trying not to be a stereotype. Ooh,
Right.
the really, really tall prisoner who Alexei breaks his wrist.
Yes, nicely done. I believe his name is like Ursa, because I think there.
Even better.
I watched
it is.
some. Yeah, it's some fucking, not New Rockstars, but like something, one of those where they talked about how he was supposed, like, that's a mutant character and blah blah blah. It's like, okay,
work.
we don't have to.
I'll take it.
Dumbledore's gay too. Okay, got it. Great. Shauna, who's the hottest character?
I'm gonna go Yelena. Like, obviously
Yeah.
it's close, but you know what? That accent and just her attitude and it's
And specifically the part where she's posing, where she's making fun of her sister and throwing her hair back and forth.
Right, like she just has such a sense of humor, and I don't want to go with, but like I was like, I am guessing that it is probably her fun. It's either fun or you're just going to cuddle, and there's nowhere in between.
Yeah.
Like,
So it's either a good lay or not.
yeah, it's either
Or
a lot of fun
funny.
or you're just going to be snuggle buddies on the couch together. And you know what? Both are a delightful night. So
yeah, she and nope, never mind. I think mine is I don't even know where I was gonna go. I was just appreciating the fact that sometimes the hookup is not the fun part. Like the post hookup is more fun, and I could see that with Yelena, where it's like, oh, we should be friends. I'm like, do you want to? Like,
I just want to be friends with you. Yeah, no, that actually probably checks out. Like, I think that's
zero
actually,
sexual tension.
That's probably also her relationship with Kate Bishop.
Yes. No. Well, I think she's trying to turn Kate Bishop out, and then they try it, and Yelena just wants the chase. She just wants to know that she could fuck Kate Bishop, and Kate Bishop will eventually let her fuck because Yelena's so hot and so charming. And then Yelena's going to be like, actually, never mind.
Yeah,
And
I think if we got a less beholden to foreign interest Marvel, I think them exploring that on story would be very interesting.
Sure.
Like, I think there's that would be great.
Yes. I'm obviously going with, I'm fully stereotyping David Harbour, daddy. My God, what a man.
Absolutely.
And any other hopes for Phase 5? Anything in this movie jump out? You're like, oh shit, I really hope that this gets fleshed out further.
Gosh, I can't wait to see Taskmaster. Oh, wait.
Good night. Thanks for listening. You can find us on Instagram at Real Hot Nerd Pod. You can follow your hosts on Blue Sky at Helen Pastels and at Intuitive Blurred. Z, do you have anything you want to promote or tell us other than some deep, insightful shit?
Oof, world peace. No.
Yes, baby.
That's it. Be kind and watch things and have fun.
Amen. Thanks for watching and listening, everybody. Bye.